because I just told me I could do it my way. I would like to bring greetings to you from the Duluth community and the NAACP. I would like to first say Hotep. Hotep means peace in Egypt. First of all, I would like to thank the honorable mention of the African American women. I can bust a move, but I didn't have time to practice. It's okay? I'd like to thank Chancellor Black, my chancellor, for this, your first, not even a year being here, and you honor us by your presence. I want to really thank you for coming out today. I want to thank my son, who is a homegrown Duluthian, born and raised here. He said, "Mom, why did you raise us here in Duluth for such a day as this, Sebastian? That's why." I humbly rise to this occasion to recognize and honor a person that I have high esteem for, and I have come to love and respect her very much. This person is an active member of the NAACP, and she serves on the executive committee. When she's called upon, she comes out and she serves. She is a very, 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 very compassionate person. She is caring, and she means what she say, and she say what she means. She's a native Mississippian. When asked where her work ethics come from, she recognizes her parents for instilling in her the value of education and hard work. She believes in education for all children. As a single mother parent, she raised 3 children, and they are each respectively very successful. At the tender age of 13, she became active in the civil rights movement and the Duluth community. And one of her mentors was an African-American female whose name was Cleo Breeze. Cleo Breeze was the first African-American high school teacher. She taught up at Central. And we have not had one since then. She left here in about 1970, and we have not had another African-American high school teacher in this district. This person has earned a BA from UMD, a Master's of Social Work from UMD. She received a Bush Scholarship in Leadership, and she was granted a Master's of Art in Public Administration from Syracuse, New York. And she currently is working on her doctorate in Organizational Leadership and Policy Development. She is also serving her 4th term as an elected official on the ISD at 709 as a school board member. Please join me in welcoming and recognizing and honoring Mary Cameron, who is deserving in honor of this award.
Can I say a couple of words?
Of course.
Oh boy, I am truly honored to receive this award today. And I first want to thank God, and I want to thank all those who have gone and passed on, who fought for me to be able to stand here today. And that would include my father who passed, my mother, and as Sharon mentioned, Cleo Breeze, who took me under her wings, Laureline Baker Kitt, who was the first African-American woman to serve on the Duluth School Board. There was Ruth Myers, who was a very powerful Native woman in this community, Marge Wilkins, Bill Moppins, and more. And as I honor those people who mentored me and cared about me and told me how important education is,
There you go.
I want to just say that it's important for us to pass the torch on to the young people, and I am so proud to see so many kids here from the Duluth School District, and I'm so proud of those kids from East High School as well, from doing what they've done. And I just want to thank you all for being here.
There you go.
I get to give the last award for the day, the NAACP Community Service Award. but I need to preach, so you're going to have to listen to me. I've been doing this for over 40 years. I, too, am a native of Mississippi. Left when I was just a young man. Married my childhood sweetheart at a very, very young age and traveled halfway around the world. And we raised 4 daughters, which I'm very proud of. But what inspired me to get involved in this movement was growing up in Mississippi and growing up poor and having left in the heart of the civil rights movement, but never knew that I was there because the media didn't always bring the news to African Americans throughout the South, or whites for that matter. They weren't anxious for people to know that there was such a strong growing protest that was going on in the South and later around the country. So the news came slow. It was only when the national news became interested in the story that everyone began to get the story. You have to know local news, where all of these things were happening, were broadcast very loud. But when I began to see what was happening and I saw the poor people, the young people, and the old people, and the sacrifices that they made, to me, what it reminded me of is that, can you imagine a homeless person who only thing they have left is bread and water and a cardboard box, being willing to give that up just for make a commitment to change America, to march, fight, be bitten by dogs, beat by billy clubs, hosed by firemen, the people that are supposed to be protecting you were harming you in every way possible to keep you from getting the freedom that many of you, white, black, and otherwise, enjoying today. You know that the civil rights movement was not just about helping black folks, it was about helping Americans to be the country that it has been called to be in our Constitution. And over the years, I served 8 years in the military, and over the years I had my people concerned about this pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We've been waiting for that justice for all for quite a few years, and until we get it, we'll continue to fight, we'll continue to march. But you know what? What brings about the change is we get people to stand up for freedom, stand up for equal education, stand up for economic parity, stand up. I need all of you to just stand up for something. Stand up, stand up, stand up, make a commitment to do something other than coming down here and march. We need you to stand up every day of your life to make the change that needs to happen in this community. Thank you very much. I want to say that the next recipient of the NAACP Community Service Award is Dr. Janet Haynes, and I'd like to ask her to come forward, please. As I say this, I met Dr. Haynes at the University of Minnesota when she first got here, the first fall that she got here when we had the Kwanzaa celebration at UMD. I got a chance to meet her. And I've seen her at every event where the community and where the youth was involved. And there I've seen her commitment to the change that's necessary in our community, to support them, to give them direction, and I can tell you they support her as well, and we're in the community to support her. I've served with her, and she and I have gone to meetings advocating for families that were being split up and torn apart to try to get the institutions, the social work department, I'm talking about the St. Louis County Social Service Department, and get the criminal justice system and the family justice system to give justice to our young families who they're trying to destroy. Dr. Haynes has been there with me along with another team of her advocates that been there to help fight this fight. And I just want to say to her that she's, I really appreciate her presence here, and I hope that she continue to work with us to forge on this fight. And what I want to do is, Dr. Haynes is an international scholar who was born in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, and immigrated to Canada in July of 1977. 30 years later, July of 2007, she joined us here in Duluth, where she worked as a faculty member in the Master of Social Work program at UMD. Dr. Haynes said that her life is enriched with 6 children, 4 of whom gave birth to the 5th, an adopted son in Jamaica, and 6, a daughter that she has been raising since her arrival in Duluth. She gave birth to her first child, Christopher, at the age of 14, her daughter, Lisa, at the age of 16. She got married at 17 and had her second son, Kevin, by the age of 19. And she had her 4th and last baby, Corey, at the age of 30. Dr. Haynes said that she was determined that her children were not going to become societal statistics, so she began educating herself in order to fill the educational gap that was created by the school they attend. Dr. Haynes discovered educational equity in September of 1977 when her first son, Chris, began kindergarten in Canada. As she uncovered how school creates and maintain inequities, she began to educate other parents in her community. She later became known for her role as an educational and child protective advocate. In 1996, Dr. Haynes became the first student in the history of Carleton University to complete a 4-year honor program in 2 years and graduated with the highest honors. Her desire to continue challenging racism, injustice, all aspects of her life lead her to graduate school at McGill University, the oldest and the most prestigious university in Canada. At McGill, she obtained 2 graduate degrees in the field of social work and education. Dr. Haynes became an expert in race and culture and later successfully guided her son, Corey, to become the first student to successfully take the school board to court for educational racism. As a part of the public interest remedy, Dr. Haynes created an educational equity office within the system designed to address issues of racism in the school system. Her goal was to ensure that the board be accountable for the racism non-white students suffer within their schools. Today, Dr. Haynes continues her fight for racial and social justice on behalf of the African American community here in Duluth. And I'm very grateful to have you in this community, and I hope that we are able to make the change that are necessary. And for this, I thank you so much, my sister. Last but not least, I want to thank the committee for the work that they've done. You know, when I heard the young kids during the Dr. King I Have a Dream speech, when I heard them performing, it gave me hope. I don't know about you. You see, this is how we send our kids to school. Unfortunately, something happens along the way. It happened to some of my kids, and it happened to some of your kids. It happened way back when, and it's continuing to happen today. Somehow along the way, they lose their sight. Their vision is where you set them out to go. And something happened in this system, and I encourage parents to pay close attention to the work that you do to try to get your kids to achieve, and the work that the system does to discourage them. Unfortunately, many of our kids are dropping out of school, getting involved with juvenile delinquency, and going to prison. And we believe, I really do believe, most kids, just as those young folks this morning, leave home that way, and the system is turning them around and giving them despair, little hope that they are capable of succeeding. We as a community need to stop that. We all need to step up. We have people who go to the university, and some of the people that work there say they come ill-prepared. And I remember in the early days of UMD, as I was a faculty, not faculty, but staff, and I can remember the work of having remedial courses for students who came to the university, particularly from the Duluth area. Duluth has a poor record of educating African American students and students of color. We have the people in this room. We have the people in places to change all of that. We just need to hold them accountable. We need to hold ourselves accountable. We need to come together as a team. Thank you so much. We can do this. We really can do this. It's not that hard. We can do this. Thank you.